The views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
The aftermath of every social revolution brings about change. Cultural norms and landmarks shift as our minds and hearts expand beyond the familiar. To everything, there is a season and a time to every purpose in the land of the living. This is our time to renew, revive, and restore the hope lost to the busyness of life. This is our time to dig again and rebuild from the storms of our past on a solid footing that holds. Welcome to The Foundation.
The Foundation. Foundation.
Start your day off with a mouth-watering deal. Available only at Wendy's. Introducing our new weekday breakfast deal that gives you a choice between 3 delicious items for just $3. You heard right. Monday through Thursday mornings, you get a choice between our Bakery Bliss Croissant, Breakfast Baconator, or a 3-piece pancake meal. Each only $3. Stop by your nearest Wendy's today. Better mornings always start at Wendy's.
Yes! Come on! Rick and Scrap time, come on! Woo! Bohemian culture! Every Andrews Craft Fest, they deserve contest. Out of all the island people, them who could dance the best. Now you know, I forgot. I just need something fat, something built like a truck, something that I could rub. People came from Hatchet Bay, they came from the rocks. They came from Cooperstown, some gal from the bluff. We ain't dancing no bogle, no dirty wine and such. Just a Bohemian thing, yeah, we call it the belly up. Come on! Woo! Belly up contest. Put your back down on the ground, lift your waist and wind it round. Belly up contest. Watch out, your knees them bend and buck when they
The
get
Foundation with Heart Grant is brought to you by Alive, Burger King, Commonwealth Bank, the Deposit Insurance Corporation, Grand Bahama News, Nassau Cruise Port, Ron's Electric Motors, Scotiabank, and Wendy's.
The club was packed, they had a 3-piece band. My homeboy was sweating, Bacardi in the hand.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company, The Foundation. On this absolutely gorgeous post-Christmas holiday. Talk to me. Most of you unable to listen today. I am so sorry about that. I'm sure you're going to catch the broadcast later on this evening, or check me out on Spotify or GuardianTalkRadio.com as a result of you sleeping. As a result of the belly yuck that KB is talking about. Talk to me. You're out there till wee hours of the morning as though you're a young child. You need to stop. Talk to me. All out. You can't stay up now. My God, you might have to sleep for 2 days. Guys, it's so wonderful to be in your company. Be grateful. Grateful to be here on this absolutely. Was that the drama? All right. Listen, it's a beautiful day, ladies and gentlemen. I want to be able to talk with you today. It's a gorgeous day. I want you guys to give me a call. Make sure you do all those things. Check out your Guardian newspaper this morning. It's a travesty of what we've seen happen over the weekend. Is it just me, or is it sad to see these things? You know, I have this kind of a thing, right? Where when I'm driving down the road and someone kind of do a beeline, getting in front of me, somebody walking in front of the car or the vehicle or whatever the case may be. And I say, hey, Jesus, these people almost didn't make it to Christmas. And when you get so close, right, that's sort of the mark for me, right? Okay, Christmas, that's the thing, right? That's the year, Christmas. So, oh my God, you almost didn't make it to Christmas. And to know that you were a day away, 2 days away from Christmas holiday is crazy to me. And you didn't make it. I want to be able to say a soft prayer for all these particular persons who would have lost their lives. In the paper this morning, you'll be able to see that 5 shot dead over the holidays. And whilst this is a poor thing that we're seeing this in one of the most celebrated times, one of the most festive times that we have in this country, The time that actually unifies everyone between the holidays that actually bring people together for Junkanoo, all creeds and ages and, ethnicities and, sexes. They come together with on one accord with an objective to be able to win on Bay. And so this unifying time, we're seeing people kind of snuffed out. I like to say a soft prayer for those particular persons, and we continue to be able to have you in our hearts. And we really want to be able to put a plea out there to all our brothers and sisters, right? The wayward ones. I don't know if you know that you're wayward, right? Those that don't necessarily have a direct purpose and a path that they travel on. We continue to be able to pray for you and make you to understand that this time, man, we need you to be able to contribute to our society. Not the society that the underbelly of society. Not this kind of a sub-society that you're a part of. Not your gang and crew and so forth. We want you to be a part of formal, decent, socialized society. And I don't know whether or not you see any value in that, but it's our responsibility, ladies and gentlemen, to make them to understand that there is significant value in contributing to this society. It's a great day, guys. I want you to be able to be a part of it. Shouts out to all those persons who got promoted. More than 700 officers promoted in the Royal Bahamas Police Force. I want to be able to say the Royal Bahamas Police Force announced that more than 700 officers from the ranks of constables to superintendent were promoted. The promotions were made public Eve and take effect October 1st, 2023. That means you can get a little back pay. Praise God, right? You was hoping it would go back, but 4 or 5 years. You want to see Christmas holiday looking good. But we're grateful to it, man. And congratulations to all of you guys who actually was able to jump the ranks or whatnot. I want to be able to shout out to Inspector White. Talk to me. Inspector Cesarine White. She has, we continue to be able to celebrate that. All those persons within the force. Maybe y'all didn't call me and text me, how would I get promoted too? I don't know. But I got the information. We'll be grateful to her. She's always been able to assist us in everything that we're doing over here at the foundation. So we continue to be able to pray for you and pray for all those persons who are in this instance, in this kind of a space that's moving up from glory to glory. Just before the year turn, my God, some of y'all been waiting on this for 20 years. Mighty 15 years. You feel like Whoopi Goldberg in The Color Purple. All's my life. Talk to me. Was that Harpo or was that Whoopi? All's my life I has to fight. Now you got it. So we're grateful to that. Grateful to all those persons who are moving up. We're hoping that the holiday season did you well. I know my children are mad satisfied as I continue to be able to crunch the numbers in my mind. My wife looks at me with a dead stare in my eyes and she doesn't know why. She said, hello, are you here? Not really. I'm out here doing accountants in my head, trying to figure out where I can get the money from on 365 days of January. Talk to me. Is it just me? Or are you the same as everybody looking good? They got their hair cut. They got their nails did. They look good. My God, and I just right here with a dead stare. Daddy, we bought you a gift. All right, just put it there. I can't even open a gift right now. It's too much. Praise God. You made it, my God. Ladies and gentlemen, you made it. I hope that you had a beautiful holiday. I hope that you didn't put the 85-inch flat screen television. People don't show off too much. You show off way too much. You rest the whole box on the top of the garbage. Somebody's coming for their television later. You need to stop it. Take the box, break it down, please. Let me hit you the game, okay? Get your little small razor, box razor. Break your box down, all the way down. Tie it up, put some tape around it, drop it in the garbage. Can I say that? Nobody needs to know what you got for Christmas. I just want to be decent with you. Because they can market. Things ain't as easy as in this country. It's time for us to be able to identify those things and ensure that we could be able to protect what is ours. In the space of decency and order, I want to say this to you. Amen? We don't need to see your 85-inch television box and you rest it on the side of the garbage like a picture. You ever see people do that? Just rest it right there. No, leave it right there. The garbage truck come to take it. They say, no, leave it right there. Let everybody know we got it in here. You're all wilding out. You're wilding out. I don't know whether or not that's in our blood or what we do, but we don't need to see that. Save yourself some tribulation. Put the box in the garbage. Amen? Enjoy that. The only thing I want to see right now is little children riding up and down on the road on their bicycles. And hasn't that decreased over the years? I haven't seen a lot of kids kind of doing that right now. So, let's get back into that. Get these kids out here being able to move up and down in the city, being able to do those things. Shouts out to AFS, man. AFS, on your last drop before the new year, go and get your car insured. Before January, your car needed insurance for a while. I'm going to be decent, and I'm not going to say from October, but your car needed insurance for a while. Ensure that you go down there and get your thing taken care of from AFS insurance agents and brokers. They can take good care of you. Ask him, he can take very good care of you. And make sure that you're satisfied as it relates to your insurance. And if you're a jitney driver or if you're a bus driver, they can take good care of you. And they got in-house financing. Give them a call, 341-1AFS, 341-1AFS. They'd be more than happy to assist you in those areas. Guys, it is an absolutely gorgeous day. I want you to give me a call and talk to me about some things that, as we transition, today and tomorrow is going to be the last days that we actually do this, okay? So you won't hear me on Friday here in the foundation, right? But you'll hear me today and tomorrow. So between today and tomorrow, I wanted to kind of wrap up and surmise what we see as it relates to leadership in the country. Not just necessarily being able to identify governmental leadership, political leadership, but leadership in the country. What are our expectations from the private sector, from NGOs, from all the persons who are contributing in comparison to what we're seeing on the ground on a day-to-day basis? What do we see? What do we expect to see? What do we want to see as it relates to what's happening in the country right now? Right? I want to put that on the table for you guys and talk about that and talk about the next dispensation of leadership in this country, what our expectations are. Over the weekend, I had an opportunity to be able to listen to a clip from Michael Pintard. I think he was at his constituency, listened to it over our news, and he started to talk about, the optimism that he had in his leadership capacity and what his expectations were as he moved forward. And I listened to him, and I have, I really hope you guys don't take this as scrutiny. I mean, honest to God. This is what I do. This is what we get paid for. This is what we look forward to in terms of being able to dissect and have conversations socially, nationally. But I know sometimes people could be sensitive about this, but Howard, I do this with the hopes and expectation that you can be able to garner nuggets from what I'm saying, because my observation, for the most part, has been a collection of what I hear and see socially, and then I dissect it and put it back before you. Maybe people won't say this to you, but I dissect it and I put it back before you. I want to talk about that today and talk about our expectations from what we need to be able to see of leadership. Not necessarily the PLP. I'm talking about their progressiveness. I'm talking about a forward-thinking, forward-moving mindset that's going to get us into the future that we envision. I want to talk about it today, guys. The numbers that you can be able to give me a call to, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere from the family of islands, 242-300-5720, or hit me up, 422-4796. Let me take a quick commercial break, ladies and gentlemen, and be right back after this.
Struggling to repay your loan? Let us help you get back on track with payment terms that suits your financial situation and improve your credit score and credit report with the Bahamas Credit Bureau. Inquire about our restructured loans today. Call us at 356-7764.
Great news! Ron's Electric Motors' new location on Cowpen Road, right next to Island Luck, is open Saturdays and Sundays. So for those needing repairs on electric motors, generators, welding machines, water pumps, battery chargers, electric lifts, transformers, and power tools, Ron's Cowpen Road location can have you up and running. Don't forget, you can still visit Ron's Electric Motors on Wolf Road and Claridge Road, and now Ron's new location on Cowpen Road. Dial 356-0249 or 323-5267.
Yeah, man. Ain't nothing like having your own things. I tired of paying the rent. man. Let's go. To get this done real estate, now it will mean a lot. There's so much I can do with that same little spot. Whatever is the cost, I would not hesitate. Now wouldn't it be great to get piece of that real estate? Listen here, miss, I heard you selling, I want buy piece of your land. I ain't got much money, I's a hard working man. You got the property, and I like just what I see. So could you ease up on that price just for me? She showed me one little piece, it had a couple sprouts, but that ain't nothing much that I have to worry about. I'll just clean it up, I'll pick up every twig, I'll take out my shovel and man, I'll start to dig just to get this real estate. Now it would be
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company, the foundation on this beautiful, absolutely gorgeous Wednesday afternoon here in the city. Wednesday, December 27th, I'm wilding out, 2023. Guys, we ain't been 19 for a long time. It's a beautiful day, guys. I wanted you to kind of join in the conversation. Here with me in the studio is none other than Garth Roseborough, being able to contribute to a great deal of things. Being able to contribute to a great deal of things here in the city and really around the country and what's happening. I'm grateful for that, grateful for the opportunity, and always grateful for the contribution. My brother, it is good to see you. How did Santa Claus treat you over this long, long weekend? Talk to me about it.
Well, you know, I'm not known to Santa Claus.
You ain't know him?
Well, I've been a nice guy, but, you know.
What Snoop Dogg say? Santa Claus don't come to the ghetto. Him and Nate Dogg.
Well, I ain't in the ghetto. I out in the boondocks.
My God.
I under the mangroves. And, you know, I had a good Christmas as always. I always work.
Well, you here?
Yeah, I always work. I always find something to do. But this Christmas, I'll tell you what I did differently. Mm-hmm. I went to my friend's farm. He's away on honeymoon. Mm-hmm. Mr. Remick Action Roll. And, you know, he told me to feed his chickens. Mm-hmm. And the truth be told, women of the country, Garth Roseborough is terrified of chickens, man. The eyes just don't look right. I could eat it. I could eat the eggs, but I'm scared of chickens, man. But I went into the chicken coop and I gave them the feed and gave them the water, and I found the chickens all right, you know. So I'll say, like they say in America, eat more chicken, man. The chicken is all right. Organic chicken eggs.
Organic chicken eggs.
Organic chicken eggs, man.
Yeah.
And I learned a little something about chickens, you know. So it was an educational Christmas.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. When I went to help somebody with a plumbing issue, I didn't charge them, of course. Merry Christmas. And I would say it was a good Christmas.
That's a wonderful thing, my brother. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to contribute and be a part of it. Garth, I wanted to put some things on the table. Let me put the numbers out there first. Well, actually, let's talk like this. Over the weekend, I had an opportunity to be able to do a few things. I know that today and tomorrow will be my last days here on the foundation before we step over into the new year to kind of make an assessment. Now, January 2023, January, I think the 2nd, anywhere from the 2nd or 3rd, I can't remember exactly which day it was, but was the first day that we started here on the foundation this year. Mm-hmm. It feels a little longer than that because we've been really communing with persons and doing our best, but it's only been 1 year. So January coming make 1 year. Mm-hmm. But in this 1 year, so much stuff has happened. I mean, I really identify this year as a transitional year for not only from a political standpoint, not only from a clergy standpoint. Can we talk like this? Okay. Mm-hmm. Not only from a standpoint, I feel like in all aspects, in every sub-society that exists here, that has been some sort of shift. It's moved us in, and I don't know whether or not that's kind of the prerequisite and pre-concept of the fact that we are in a year of Jubilee has anything to do with it. That things are being shifted and moved, that pillars are being moved and replaced, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know, but I want to talk about this today. This year we've seen so much happen. Mm-hmm. We've seen, let's take it from a political standpoint, even mid-year, from about mid-year, when we saw the proroguing of the House of Assembly, right? Mm-hmm. And our expectation was to be able to see, as a result of the prorogue, a shift or a shuffle.
That was something, eh?
That wasn't it something?
That was something.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. This is bananas to me.
This is crazy.
This is crazy. Like, as a result of the prorogue, this is the year of Jubilee.
All this happened this year.
All this happened 1 year. 1 year.
My God.
1 year. As a result of this, the House of Assembly was prorogued. there was enough chatter that's expectation to be able to see a shuffle in the cabinet,
Yes.
right?
A shuffle.
We wanted to be able to see a shuffle to make a determination about the strength of our prime minister,
That is correct.
to whether or not he has the wherewithal to be able to take us all the way to 2026 with emerging. It's heavy what I'm saying. With emerging economic situations, right? So this is one issue after another, and the PLP, the way that they're very good at reshuffling things, right? They're very good at it. Not necessarily shuffling the cabinet, but shuffling your mind to say, well, it ain't really that bad. So they give you that kind of a concept, right? So they come out to the forefront. They prorogue the House of Assembly. You got all our breath hold. We don't know what's going to happen. As they come back, they say, well, it's not really what you think it is. And we say, well, I guess it ain't even that bad. But something else was looming. Boom. Obadiah Wilshcombe gone.
Just like that. Saw him one day, strong as an ox.
Gone.
Speaking well, confident, receiving gifts.
No
Next day
speech
gone.
slurred. No speech slurred.
No signs.
The
no
only
nothing.
thing, can I say this? The only thing that I saw when I looked at him, I said, I think he's a little dehydrated because his lips were a little bit dry. That's it. But I didn't see that there was signs of distress significantly, right? Sometimes we in our culture, more specifically from afar off, as we look at people and we observe them, we say, oh my God, this fella looks sick. Oh Lord, I hope he's okay. Right? But not with Obadiah Wilshcombe.
Always
All we
well
knew-
poised.
Right,
And always positioned.
right.
And
And he carries himself as such.
confident.
And one day he's gone. I
Just
tell
like
you,
that.
I was in San Francisco. First time being able to look at the mountains and so forth and so on, riding around at this crisp air, me and my wife doing our thing, celebrating for this particular time. And all I said, I blurted out of nowhere, mother's sick. Obi gone.
I remember.
This blew my mind.
Because I was in Michigan at the time.
This blew my mind.
I was in Michigan.
Talk to me about it. Now, I want to take for everything that happened this year, and I'm sure that you guys can be able to call in and kind of chime in on all the more specific and unique things that happened both locally and internationally. And I don't need your prophetic insight. I just want to be able to talk about, they're saying me shunning prophecy, but I don't want to get into it. Next thing you know, it's too much, right? So I just want to be able to say about those things, as we assess these things and everything that's happening, does it speak to us about the expectation that we should have, right, for leadership leading into 2024? I want to talk like this. I want to talk like this. If I'm being absolutely honest with you, I look at this and I see that there's an internal fight within the Free National Movement. There is relentless shifting within the PLP, but the articulation or the voice that comes from the PLP is one voice. To be able, they see what we see now. It's what we hear. And we also know that faith cometh by hearing. So I don't know whether or not this is the faith that we can have within the PLP to know that they're going to move in one direction. We're hearing something different in the Free National Movement, and we're also seeing something different. So I'm asking you, what do you expect from leadership? Or what can we say to leadership with an assessment of everything that has happened, the steps to take to ensure that we could safeguard economically, socially, and otherwise our society moving forward in 2024?
There is a public conversation about and the good deeds of the Progressive Liberal Party government. We have been extremely hard on the Free National Movement only because we now understand in this two-party system that happens every 5 years that we just wanted a stronger royal opposition. It's not personal. It's just what we would like to have for a stronger nation. But you know, Howard, as astute as you are, as wise as you are, if you took the time to really sit and speak with a number of PLP supporters, you will find that there is also murmurings under the breath. In such murmurings, it kind of makes it familiar to me that every other term we have this change of government every 5 years. And whereas I had a friend who stopped by my house this morning, a big PLP general, who said to me last night that, Garth, I think all is well in the Progressive Liberal Party, even with our leader, Brave Davis, he's my friend, etc. This morning he comes to my home and says, boy, Garth, you told me you're out in the wilderness. You've not heard from any of these people. And I kind of starting to feel the same way. And I need people to understand that I could shift too. And so I don't want the PLP to feel so comfortable and so confident that this victory is in sight. Very well, you know the nature of our people, and Howard, I'll let you remind us of the nature of our people as the host of the show, that these people are very, very finicky.
They don't show you that they're moving in a different direction, They just take their time with
It's
you.
like a Holy Ghost movie. It's like the Spirit just move and they move with that Spirit.
Our society is so very small, and there's almost like 6 degrees, maybe even 3 degrees of separation between us and any individual, right? I'm sure many persons, unbeknownst to you right now, you're married to your cousin in one way or another, right? Our society is so very, very, listen, Jesus wouldn't even let me marry one woman from 8 Mile Rock.
Okay.
Half the community is my family. All these people, especially all the pretty gals. This is my family. So I say that to say there is maybe about 3 to 4 degrees of separation between our society. And as a result of that, somewhere subconsciously, very quietly, we don't necessarily seek to confront you. That, and also there's not confidence in education that you can articulate why you don't support this particular person. So you just have this kind of a gut feeling. You say, I don't know if I can bother with you. So Bahamian people will smile in your face. I know this. I'm telling you. They say, yeah, man, you straight when it comes to voting.
Yes.
Yeah, man, you straight. When they tell you straight, be very scared. Bishop Ricardo Grant, he knows this.
Oh, he learned that firsthand.
They tell him, yeah, man, you're straight.
His family.
Tennille Burroughs knows this. Yeah, you're straight. And Lincoln Bain, who came and delivered the you straight from the people.
He ain't get that message yet. He can still keep trying.
Yeah, of course, I don't expect him to stop trying. But the you straight, I got you. Don't worry about that, you covered. This kind of conversation, that is a prerequisite. That's the social insurance that people tap into when they're not sure what they're doing. And at the very last moment, boom, they'll pronks on you and turn catgut. And that's what we're seeing in our society.
I told my Progressive Liberal Party general friend, I said to him, I agree with you that as we look at the Free National Movement, that it's not becoming of that which we would like to have for a government. And I said to him, confidentially, Garth Roseborough will give you a scenario of leadership in the Free National Movement that they can win the next general election. He said, no, sir, that can't happen.
Of course they can win it.
Guess what happened?
Of course they
I
can
gave him the names of the executive, and guess what he said to me? I might have to go that way myself. That looked good. You see, there's never a dead end that exists in terms of Bahamian politics. Our people are just that sensitive.
The PLP cannot let up. They cannot let up. They cannot, and I'm not talking about the fallacy or the Walt Disney approach, right? This kind of a Magic City approach that we're going to be able to kind of whoop our wand and make sure everything is taken care of for you, that we're doing all the heavy lifting, and that this kind of a rhetoric, that's done. They have to work. This is no game.
Not only work.
They have to put in the significant work, and they have to show themselves progressive enough and open enough to the futuristic. I sit down this morning and I said, you know what's amazing is how people try to, and this is after me, I'm listening to Michael Pintard, and I'm just full disclosure, I'm listening to Michael Pintard, and I'm watching him on our News, right? I cover his face on our News, and I just listen to him. And this is me. This is my mind. I would process it. I cover his face, so I'm only looking at his suit. I can't see him. I only could see his suit, and I only could hear his words. And I couldn't tell you which era he was in. Can I say that? I couldn't tell you which time he was in. I couldn't tell you the age of who he was. I covered his face. I look at his suit, and I listened to his words, and I couldn't tell you if he was in 1984, 1990s, or where we were. I just was listening to him. This is rhetoric, not rhetoric at the same time.
Understood.
I'm mad at him.
Understood.
I'm not mad at him.
It's not personal.
I like him, and I believe that he can be an excellent leader. But my fear is he has to be able to take on that kind of a posture that Minnis took on. Oh my God, well, Howard, what you mean? Okay. I thought, and you and I didn't have an opportunity to talk about this, when Hubert Alexander Ingram, former Prime Minister, was able to kind of accept a book from former Prime Minister Minnis, there was an exchange that took place, and it dropped. My mouth was dropped the entire time. I couldn't believe this, right? I said, oh my God, Minnis should have known. If you bring Hubert Ingram and the press with you, he's going to take the time out to be with things that are in front of you. Hubert Ingram ain't scared to do this.
In a very direct way.
Very direct. And guess what? Statesman-like, but nonetheless, this was direct.
Very cross.
This was direct.
Scientific.
And he said, well, you know, we was very good friends. Very good friends. Very good friends. You know, we always go out all the time.
Used to come to my house.
I used to come to my house, but not he go out. But when he became Prime Minister, he changed. He became a different man, right?
Yeah.
And what Minnis said blew my mind because I didn't know. Okay, I know he's sharp, but my God, this was brand new.
Not just a
double-edged. This is sharp.
Dr. Hubert Alexander Minnis is learning.
And heavy.
Learning.
And he's not afraid to show you that he's learning.
That's correct.
That's so what I'm listening, right? And he says, well, you know, when you get in these positions, you need to be able to craft out something for yourself.
Yeah.
And you need to identify your own course. In so many words, he said this, right?
Well, pause a minute there because Michael Pintard was trying to do the same thing now. Be fair. He also wanted to do the same thing. But
Okay.
go ahead.
Hold on. But I get into Michael Pintard. Mm-hmm. What Minnis had to do, a lot of us still don't agree with. A lot of us still feel the tinge in the back of our throat and the kind of disgust as a result of him being able to go against not the constitution of the organization, but the traditional norms of the organization. That's what Minnis did. Mm-hmm. Minnis went against the traditional norms of the organization, not the constitution. Y'all could correct me if you want. 323-6232, you know the numbers. I don't believe that he went against the tradition, the constitution of what the organization stood for. But the norms that was crafted from 1992, this is where the norm started. The new norm of the Free National Movement started in 1992 and evolved and really expanded significantly and took on a life that was Hubert Alexander Ingram. Now, as a result of meeting with Ingram, I realized, and see, this is why it's important to be able to have conversation. I realized that when he articulated the Ingram era is over, he meant the traditional norms that shifted the course of this organization that didn't necessarily align with a great deal of the Constitution, we're going to have to cut that off. He didn't articulate that. So the only thing that Joe Blow public could think, oh, you mean his leadership? What do you mean? What do you mean? That was never defined. It was an eternal ellipsis. Mm-hmm. But as a result of this quick conversation, dialogue, it was him looking for a new path for himself. Michael Pintard needs to do that. Okay. And you may not be liked as a result of your pursuit.
Make the definition
clear.
But
you have to do this.
Make the definition clear.
You're going to have to do this. And thought, in word, and in deed.
There's something else that also plagued Dr. Hubert Alexander Minnis, though, and that was the idea that this leader, this pharaoh, this king, or prince, or whatever label you want to give our prime ministership, got to be cursed. How in the heck you could have Dorian, a Category 5 with that type of fury, and then to have the disaster of management post-Dorian, and then go into a 2019 pandemic. It's like it was too much happening at once on this one prime minister, and there are those who are suspicious-minded who would say, my God, did he bring this upon us? And those people exist in the country as well. And so there was also a fair factor in terms of his leadership. For him to return now, it's almost as if there has to be some form of repentance before the Almighty God to prove to us that you are a child of God and not the same person you was in 2017. I'm just simply saying that has to happen. That has to be firm, defined, and accepted by the people.
In less than 5 minutes discourse, conversation with the media, in the presence of the media and the entire country, Minnis did that. What took Perry Christie What took the entire congregation of the PLP to nudge Perry Christie to the forefront as the first prime minister to come to the public with hat in hand to say that he apologizes and he would never do it again. Minnis did that very quickly. I don't know if you all even noticed what happened. I think it's going to sink in. Minnis did that very quickly in front of Hubert Alexander Ingram. When Minnis said, well, when you find yourself going off course, you immediately go back to your mentors or those learned men. I surmise, I ain't got the words in front of me. Those learned men. And I say, oh my God, this can't be the man who you cut off like that quick so. Now you're indicating that he's a mentor and you'll always go back. I say, oh my God, Minnis. And this is why we said this is a significant fight within the Free National Movement.
But this is the same man also said the next time I'm going to make sure I take care of the poor. Now the question once again is, do the Bahamian people believe that? I'm going to let you open up your lines, Howard. I know these people always tell me they're dying to talk to you.
Please, give me a call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere from the Family Violence, 242-300. 5720. Hit me up 422-4796. There's a call on the line. Call on the line with us live. Go ahead. Go ahead, call on with us live.
But on this, what's his name?
Garth Wellsboro.
Yes, Garthborough. Listen, Howard, I understand what you're trying to say, right? But if Minnis come back in a new life, the Bahamian people are not going to accept Minnis. You know how many people lost their homes, lost their families. Listen, Howard, it wasn't because of just Dorian and the pandemic, It's because the stringent measures that he put in place, and some of his members were able to do whatever they wanted to do during that particular time. Okay, I have about 6 aunties who are FNMs, and they don't definitely want Minnis. Okay, this one year, this is a blessing in disguise for Minnis. He already wrote his book. Told a story. Stick to your book. Being what you call book writers? What you call those?
Author.
Yeah, stick to being an author, because a frontline politics is not going to work for him anymore. I don't even think Minnis is going to win Kalani next time around. To be honest with you.
That's heavy what you said.
Like I said, the people got accept. Like you said, the people got accepted.
For many years, and I'm telling you, the gentleman that lost against Minnis only lost by 520 votes, and that's the first and
that's
in a long time that someone came that close to winning Kalani from.
Okay.
Okay, my brother. I appreciate your telephone call. I will read something for you. CBS.com, right? CBSNews.com. Homelessness rose in the United States of America after pandemic aid dried up. United States of America has over 350 million people. I'm going to read just the first line. 2 years after the pandemic aid ended, homelessness in cities and states across the United States of America is on the rise. Organizations that count homeless people have seen increases in numbers of the unsheltered individuals compared to 2022, and this is what the Wall Street Journal reported. Roughly 421,400 people were homeless in the United States of America last year, and 127,750 of them were chronically homeless, meaning that they didn't have a place for them to stay a year or more. According to National Alliance at the End of Homeless data, homelessness rates have been climbing nationally by about 6% every year since 2017. My very clear point to you. This is not something that actually, I could read this about Brazil. I could read this about Venezuela. I could read this about any country in this world, and they will indicate the exact same things. Anything globally, I could identify in our small cosmic, just our snapshot of a society, 400,000 people, is only just a view of what's happening globally. So there's no way that you could say, this is on the shoulders of one man. This is a global issue. This ain't me, because it sounds like I'm trying to defend the man. But if we're going to be fair and have this conversation, this is not in the confines of what's happening locally. This is a global matter.
So once again, Howard, you and I, knowing as we understand global politics and global society, are the Bahamian people at this time prepared to put aside a more, like you say, philosophical Michael Pintard for a more militant Hubert Alexander?
This is what I want to do.
And are they ready to accept the apology and allow a political shift from the present government to the royal opposition?
I want to do this. With the two,
you're saying a lot today. I want you to know you're saying a lot.
With the 2 minutes where they give me, I want to do this. After I covered Michael Pintard's face yesterday, and I was listening to him, I realized that there is a rhythm, a tone that aligns with this frequency, this era that he has. Let's just be very clear. Now, some tones are very classic, but some sounds depict a specific era. If I turn on the Bee Gees right now, you automatically go back to an era, a time. If I turn on Al Green, as classic as this is, you go back to an era, a time. Music has evolved. Society has evolved. Our approach to banking, everything has evolved. Politics, globally, the words that they use has evolved. For Michael Pintard to find himself in this kind of a space and progressively being able to attract, though the numbers may be small, 400,000 people, he has to be able to hit that frequency visually and from an orator standpoint that people could run into him. I think he has what it takes. But I believe for him to be able to do that, he's going to have to shed this concept and idea of the traditional politics that seems to be a wait and ball because things are evolving. And as a result of him being able to take this forward step, he could be the proverbial John the Baptist, the forerunner for how politics will be run in this country. Okay, so I guess the Junkanoo results are in. He is wilding out. Listen, my producer, all I get him saying, woo, woo! He needs to stop. We can talk about those things. Let me see if I can take a quick commercial break. This is my last break before I come back and be right back after this.
Of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Champ, baby girl, Cable Guy is here.
Since the very beginning, you have been with us.
This is called, and this is called the internet.
Okay.
All right, so
for over 2 decades, we've been with you every step of the way.
Weibo is total class. Look at her go. She's in front.
I follow me. I'm Preston. So yeah, times may have changed, and so have your needs as our valued customers. But some connections stand the test of time. Rev, we're with you.
You've tried everything. ASUS with your mother's cousin's sister's auntie, and even hiding your money under your mattress. But is your money $10 deposit in a member bank or credit union is insured up to $50,000. If anything happens, your deposit up to the insured value will be returned to you thanks to Deposit Insurance. Visit Deposit Insurance Corporation at www.dic.bs.
Protection for your money guaranteed with DIC.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Woo! Come on! Oh, yes! Woo! It was the 4th of June, a nice crescent moon. That's when her eyes met.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant, your company, the foundation here, just chopping it down. I feel vulnerable. I feel like I want to be honest today. Not that I'm not every day, but sometimes you do your best to kind of get to the edge and pull back. I just feel like there should be this kind of vulnerability to us to get to truth. I don't have the energy to kind of structure it accordingly today. Guys, I know that you're listening to the Junkanoo results. Congratulations to all those on the side of success. But truly, congratulations to all those participants who participated in the culture that we have here in the country. Being able to display that. You all did an absolutely wonderful job, and I want to commend each and every group, A, B, and otherwise, that continues to be able to show up on Shirley Street, on Bay Street, on Junkanoo Morning. Thank you so very kindly for your commitment to culture and your consistency. This is a labor of love. Because ain't nobody paying you all to do this. Talk to me. Let's get these things done. Let's talk about this now. When we left off of this last few minutes, I can let you guys call in. The lines are open. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Anywhere from the family violence, 242-300, 5720. Hit me up, 422-4796. Call on the line with us live. Go ahead. Next caller. Call on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Hey. Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Howard.
Garth.
Well, hey, happy holidays to you all, gentlemen.
Same to you, my brother. What's happening?
Boy, I listening to you right now. I own job, so I listening to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You campaigning early, my brother.
You need to stop. I ain't campaigning for nobody.
You say you got a good Christmas present.
You need to stop. I ain't campaigning for nobody. When you call here and tell around, nobody fight you.
He campaigning early.
Listen. Nobody is fight you when you call here, PLP, up and down, round and round, you walk inside the side.
He already letting the callers and listeners know that, hey, next year, God's willing.
Do it. What you got to say? Go ahead.
The campaign for the FNM. Hey, Howard, and on all honesty, right?
Let me hear you.
And let's be real. I like to keep it real, right? We can't blame Mr. Minnis for the hurricane, okay? No. I would not do that. And I was telling people stop doing that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And we can't blame him for the COVID. But Howard, we could blame him for the response as a leader. And that's what a lot of people will say. Come on, man, Howard, man. Let's be realistic. We're in the Bahamas. Bahamian people used to having like a home, like someplace to stay as an igloo. We're not in Alaska. Come on, man, the response to the Bahamian people and to the Bahamian people needs for those two things that we were facing as him being the prime minister was poor, Howard, and you can't run from that. You can't run from that, bro. Nobody can run from that.
I'm not going to fight you. I'm not going to fight you for that. I'm just going to go to stats. That's all I'm going to do. I'm only going to go to stats, and that's all we can have this conversation about.
You know,
right?
and I encourage my PLP people. You know, those who, want to listen to me sometimes, don't blame Minnis for a hurricane. We can't blame him. We can't blame him for the COVID boy, but we could blame him for his response as a prime minister, as a poor leader that we would ever have. And I don't think...
But that's peculiar what you would say.
I don't think, even me not being a PLP, but I don't think in the hearts of the Bahamian people's mind...
Hold on.
I don't think in the hearts of the Bahamian people's mind they would even want to even consider putting him again as a prime minister.
As a I have to accept your viewpoint. That is your opinion. Everyone has a right to their opinion, and you have some plausibility. Of course, you do. As a PLP, and I'm not going to call my friend's name, by the way, Howard. As a PLP, I spoke to this person last night. Strong supporter for the most part, and he says to me, Garth, you have plausibility in terms of your outlook because the PLP has its issues. People are saying they have no issue. He says one of my biggest issues that would almost cause me to slip and fall from the PLP. He said, I got to tell Bruce, he traveling too much, man, too much. Now, see, that comes from a PLP. And I keep trying to say to people, when you are a member of a political organization, be honest about your organization because it is through honesty that you can repeat in victory at the polls. But you continue to try to cover your faults as if everything is okay. And I'm saying to people, no one has a problem with you traveling, but when you travel, are you bringing the gold back to the Bahamas?
Now, we only got 2 minutes before we get out of here, so I don't even touch this.
Okay, wow.
Because we got to go to news, right? So let's just be very clear and balanced in the approach.
Balance.
Okay.
Decent.
How long did it take the PLP to respond to what was happening at Bahama? How long did it take the PLP to respond to what was happening in Long Island to Hurricane Jaquan? How long did it take? So let's be very clear about these things. Let's be very clear about these things. The first time we heard about this kind of a response to be able to collectively identify the Southern Islands and bring them into Nassau was under the PLP. The first time this actually happened, who did it?
So you're saying that
I only want to be decent today.
Nobody could call the kettle black.
Nobody. If you can come here and identify an isolated incident that continues to be able to happen over one administration and spill into another organization and administration to another organization and administration, then what are you doing? Then what are we doing? All are we saying is this. Are we looking at leadership and the capability? This is not me being able to identify anything and shake the pom-poms for any political person. We're talking about leadership and who's qualified and capable of being able to this country 2024 and beyond. Now, what we're seeing over the past year, especially within the Free National Movement, is relentless fighting. But as the year comes to an end, we got an early holiday Christmas present.
We had the 3-year itch right up. Now, I think in 6 months' time, Howard, we're going to be at the 3-year itch.
Be ready to go.
The 3-year itch decisions will be made. And I'm guaranteeing you that this show, along with one or two others, are going to be those media personalities who are going to help to swing in whoever the victor is going to be in 2026. We are at that point.
Listen, the swinging ain't based upon no envelope. No. This is based upon the conversation we're having with people on the ground. That's and correct. Understanding what's happening within constituencies to get to the objective of national growth and development. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to be able to participate and join us on the next side of this conversation. We're going to go to news and be right back after this.
It was the 4th of June, a nice crescent moon. That's when her eyes met mine. I tried not to stare, but that girl was so fair, I would have had to been blind. For me not to see what was before me would have to be a crime. So I took a chance, grabbed her hand, and asked her for a dance. That night the music was playing and we danced without a care. You looked deeply into my eyes so near. And oh, when we moved across the dance floor, yes, the mood was so right. That's when I knew then what real love was when we danced that night. Woo! Oh yeah!
4, 3, 2, 1.
Are you ready to catapult your business into the spotlight? Introducing Guardian Business Boost.
Ignite your success, and it's absolutely free to join.
Did you say free? Yes. Free! Guardian Business Boost is not just a program. It's your ticket to unprecedented visibility and growth. The Guardian Media Group is committed to helping the Bahamas prosper by creating new opportunities for small businesses, who are the key drivers of that growth. How does it work? It works by first registering your business with the Guardian Business Boost at thenassauguardian.com. Then, each month, Guardian Media will pick and boost 5 businesses with 1 month of free ads across our multiple advertising platforms. The Nassau Guardian newspaper, website, Guardian Radio 96.9, Star 106 Hits, and all social media platforms. Catapult your business into the spotlight with Guardian Business Boost. Sign up for free today at thenassauguardian.com.
Very hallelujah will be ringing a victory forever.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant and your company, the foundation. Live and in full effect. The lines are wide open. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Anywhere from the family violence, 242-300-5720. Hit me up on the text 422-4796. Let's go right to the phone. Calling on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Hey, God Burroughs and Howard Grant.
Yes, sir.
What's happening, my brother?
Y'all had a beautiful holiday weekend.
Yes, sir.
Praise Howard, allow me to please send my condolences out to the Swingers Junkanoo group there in Grand Bahama on the passing of their leader, Huckleberry.
Yes. I saw that down there.
You
Yeah.
know, Huckleberry and my brother Ken Motorboat started the Swingers Junkanoo
Yes.
organization.
I see there was.
But
They
let
put
me
out
say
for.
something.
Mhm. Go ahead.
And I want to close out the year by saying that us in the leadership of the FNM in the New Year.
Hold on.
Listen, let me
Hold on.
That's strong. That's strong.
I have to fix
That's
this.
a strong statement.
I have to
No,
fix this.
let him define himself, Howard.
No, he didn't say. He said of.
But what's the definition of that?
Mr. Grant.
Let me say it again.
I
Say it
called you
again.
Mr. Grant.
I
called you Mr.
can
Grant.
write
You
it down.
can't leave us like that,
I want
Howard.
you
You
to
can't do it.
Go ahead. Let me hear
I
you.
want you to hear me.
Let me hear you. Look for a big change.
Menace, the Honorable Hubert Menace. Mark my word on it. I don't want to sound like a prophet. He's going to pull a Loretta on Pentad.
Of course he will.
No. I can't let y'all get away with that.
No, he has to do it because
Y'all got to tell me why.
He have to do it.
Why?
Because
He
it was
have to
done
do
to
it.
him. That's it.
Why?
Because it
To
was
show
done to
his
him.
strength in Parliament. He has the strength in Parliament.
Because it was done to him. That's simple.
That's all it is. That's
It's
all
simple.
it is. And he has the strength in Parliament, whether you believe it or not.
Of course he does.
If the way this case going now with Long Island,
Yeah.
he have to try to catch him before he loses that one. Because you know, if they were to have a by-election in Long Island today or tomorrow, the candidate is automatically going to be Dr. Dwayne Sand.
What kind of prophet you are? What church you go to, boy?
Pentad is, hello?
What type of church you go to, man?
That's
You sound like a
possibly the-
prophet.
that's possibly the only seat that.
Pentad is worrying about Dr. Menace.
Mm-hmm.
If you see Dr. Dwayne Sands get back into Parliament, he has hell on his hand. Pentad has hell on his hand.
That is correct. That is
Dwayne Sands
correct.
is only behaving. You ever see the little children want a good present, so they behave until they get the present?
You get any present from Santa Claus this year? Because boy, you being naughty.
It's a new year. He can redeem himself for next year.
I thought about this over the whole Christmas break. I was waiting for Howard to come back. But listen to me.
No, you
Remember
got
what
to
I
start
tell
from the top again. You got to start from the top again.
in
You
the
say,
new year,
look for a big change
in the Free National
FNM in the new
Movement.
year.
in the FNM leadership, you say.
Yeah.
In the
Watch who's the big leader
FNM.
of the FNM at House Assembly.
Don't
worry about the one who vote. The one who vote the House Assembly, he can't say much. The one who could talk in the House Assembly.
And look
watch for that one.
and look at the possibility of a change in Long Island.
Hold on.
It has to be.
I can say this.
That's
how
what
you
he
say.
said.
I got to say this in closing. I
ain't
hope
gonna
I
fight you.
don't
Go
get
ahead.
myself in trouble for this.
Go ahead. Let me hear it.
If Long Island wins those cases, he has to be rubbed down in some extra orders.
Sir,
Oh.
bye.
That's a different kind of
Happy New
church.
Year. You need to stop. We ain't talking about the chicken grease and chicken blood today. You need to stop it. You don't do much.
Well, he got on the end of the limb.
You all need the people need to stop. When he started off, I heard this, and he says, look for a big change in the Free National Movement leadership and the FNM leadership in the new year. Now, for me, the first thing that came to mind when he said that
Of mercy.
was the posture characteristics and the approach of the leadership that exist, but not actual leadership. Then he goes on to say that Dr. Hubert Alexander Minnis will pull a Loretta Turner Butler Turner, right? And I think it's inevitable. I think because the precedent was already set in the organization.
So when the FNMs tell
This will
me
be a shift.
that the delegates are 90% behind Michael Pintard, true or false?
That's true. They continue to tell me that. They told me 75% the other day. So if it's climbing to 90%, then he gets more and more support.
And
these are the MCMs.
Okay.
They say that they support me. There are fractions. I came on the radio the other day and I said, for a week and a half, everywhere that I went in Nassau, FNMs that I know personally, who saw me, exclaim without me asking, because people see me and then they want to talk politics. Without me asking, they given me information about the fact that they no longer support Pintard. They're supporting Minnis. And I said, do you know that you're saying this out loud? Do you know that these are things that you keep to your chest? No, how would I support Minnis? I said, but you shouldn't say that. You're a Free National Movement member. and you need to be, and then it would go into depth and detail of how they supported Pintard, but there was no this kind of a reciprocal approach. Pintard didn't necessarily support that.
Reciprocity.
This is what they saying to me. And so when I come on the radio and I say this ain't Howard words. I ain't looking for nothing from none of them.
Yeah, you're just simply reflecting.
I ain't telling you what's going on.
That's correct.
This is what we do. This is my job.
Yes.
Okay. This is
you know what's happening.
This is what's happening here.
Yeah.
Now, based upon these particular things, I said there is an inevitability here that Minnis would take this approach. And also, let's just shoot straight. Nobody say this yet, but I can say this now.
Let me hear this.
When Hubert Ingram stood up and started to talk about his relationship with Minnis and how Minnis shifted, still has respect for him, and being able to talk like that, this was an advocacy for Minnis. This was hopes. Watch me. This is only observation. I'm out here behind my screen watching this. I'm not participating. I'm only an observer. And when I heard Hubert Ingram take on this approach, the first thing I said, oh my God, Minnis, they coming at you. This is an axe. They chopping at your leg. But Minnis was like a stubborn steel tree that did not allow the axe to bear into him. Why? Because that advocacy, let's not forget, Hubert Alexander Ingram supports Dwayne Sands. Hands down. There's no two ways about that. He's already indicated that to us a long time ago and gave us a preamble that indicated his suffrage. Talk to me, how am I talking? He gave us a preamble indicating his suffrage, his political suffrage, and how he, as a result of all that he's been through, has still been able to climb to the Mount Everest of the political heights of heights in this country and become prime minister. And then compared himself to Dwayne Sands. That's support. That's relentless support, sir.
In one word, is diplomacy. It was extremely diplomatic.
But it was strategic.
Yeah. When you look at third parties who want to take precedence in this country politically, they lack this very same diplomacy. They're so busy fighting, they don't understand when to use honey and then when to use acid.
The only reason is because they haven't decided on leadership in their organization. They haven't decided. Listen to me. Although you and I, if we know that good sweet talking can get us to our objective, you have to determine, and I have to determine, and whoever else is a part of our grouping, that's it. And when you all say, Howard is the best talker, all right, let's go. I know what my objective is. That means I should have your support. Not when I start talking, somebody else jump up and sound, hey, listen, you didn't give me this job, shut up and let's move forward.
You know, when I was growing up, Howard, if I could put a little bit of a smile on your face, and I don't know if you had the same experience in the West Grand Bahama, but you meet a girl, you know, and the fella them do the sweet talk, hey, baby, darling, you know, all the other good stuff, you know, and they trying to woo the woman. That's the way I was trained, you know. That's what I saw that I wanted to be, you know, the sweet fella. And then as I was growing up, Howard, I saw some fellas, boy, girl, get here. And the girl just come bowing easy and giving in. And I'm like, now, hold a minute. It's politics like that where sometimes you got to have the sweet words to get the girl, and other times you got to be bully.
I can be decent.
I was being decent continually, because Michael Pintard is decent now.
Watch me.
He's decent.
I was always the designated talker to bring all the gals. That's just what I was.
Yeah, but you can't always be decent.
No. I'm talking about...
Some gals didn't respond to you.
When my grouping got together, if we had a party, if we had this, if we had that, I had to be able to introduce and break the ice of this conversation to pull them in. That's what it is. No one in my entire clan, all my boys who we hanging about, 10 us, 15 us, we rolling. I can bring 10 girls.
Well, your wife ain't had a chance, eh?
No.
When you meet her, you just...
She's a good, decent woman. She's a decent woman. She's a decent woman, right? No one ever questioned if Howard can talk. There wasn't no vote. There wasn't nothing. There was a designation. Howard, you can talk. Okay, boom. Somebody else can bring money. That ain't me. Somebody else can do that. You have to add your strength and execute that
Michael
accordingly.
Pintard is a
The
talker.
Free National Movement has not done that.
But he is a talker.
Yeah, but other people feel like if he could do it, I could do it also. Especially after Minutes, because Minutes is not a talker, but he led to leadership.
Boy, Minutes learning how to talk, eh?
He's very good.
Oh, he's learning how to talk.
He's getting much better and better and better and better. I want to open up the lines, guys. The lines are wide open. I want you to be able to participate in this conversation. All we're talking about is whether or not, I don't think there's two ways about it. There is an expectation that Minutes, the only thing I was expecting, and this is how I heard Hubert Ingram craft it. I heard Hubert Ingram watch him lob a ball.
Yeah, softball style.
It was a lob. He lobbed the ball.
It wasn't baseball.
Right?
Softball.
No, it wasn't a fast one, right? It was a lob. He lobbed the ball and expected Minutes to swing and said, I am not looking for leadership in the Free National Movement. But Minutes didn't do that.
No.
And that's why I said I was fascinated by this conversation, because when Ingram lobbed the ball, for him to say, well, I support Michael Pintard, and Pintard is the leader of the organization. Minutes didn't do that. Minutes said, well, based upon the Constitution, Michael Pintard is the leader now. And when I said that, when I saw that, I said, oh my God.
Well, the truth be told, as you get to your caller, Hubert Alexander Ingram was 100% correct. Hubert Alexander Minutes was also 100% correct.
100%.
So guess what happens now? The lob was made, the response was given, and guess what the response says? I know as the future leader, I will need a united Free National Movement to beat the Progressive Labour Party.
And the Bahamian people need me to apologize. So let me apologize in this also. Sometimes you got to go back to your mentors. I said, oh my God, there's a fight.
Yeah.
This is going to be a fight. Ladies and gentlemen, join the conversation. Caller, you on the line with us live? Go ahead. Go ahead, caller, you on with us. Caller? Next caller. Caller, you on with us live? Go ahead, caller. 323-623-232-5416, 325-4259, anywhere from the family of islands, 242-300-5720, or hit me up on the text 422-4796. Let me read this quick text. It says, Howard, the PLP showing poor governance. They are strong on PR and keeping public emotions and support for the administration. They are very good at it. The majority cares less about being analytical, about serious national issues. When the U.S. laid off public service, the Minutes administration borrowed money to keep our civil servants employed, even while they were at home for months. There's a text is coming through. I think sometimes we allow ourselves to get caught up in the emotion of what's happening out here, but not understanding the severity if we allow the entire thing to kind of unravel itself. Let's just be honest with that, right? Let's talk like that. Call on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon, my brother. What's happening?
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Man, everything blessed, man. Everything blessed. Howard, what happened? You wait too long. They was holding so long, they hang up.
I guess so.
Like trying to get through and it was busy for about half an hour, so they hang up, you take too long. I even text God, but 10 times and tell you, pick up the phone, man.
We need to stop it. We need to stop it. We came on here at 1:07. It's 1:19 now. You telling me how? You
okay. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Howard, I have a question for you and God. Here's the FNMs keep saying the Minutes had the pandemic and then he had Doreen. I have a question for you and God. Well, what Mayor Motley had and what Holiness had? What Andrew Holiness had?
All of them had the same thing. Well, they had the hurricane.
Okay, exactly. They had the same thing.
Yeah.
And Andrew Holiness was retired.
Yeah.
And Mayor Motley was retired. And guess what? Jamaica, the hardest people in the world to play, son. The hardest people in the world. And they return the Holiness. They always had 8 weeks and things and everything and pandemic. They talk about only Doreen and things like that. And there are people retiring them. So don't use no excuse with Minutes had Doreen and he had. That's where he gets supposed to show his leadership and show because that's what Holiness and Mayor Motley did. They showed their leadership in times of disaster, and that's why there are people retiring them. And not only retiring them, retiring Mayor Motley with all 30 seats, no opposition. Now, God. I think God, you know what I think what the problem is?
Yes, sir.
I think like how when he's in opposition, how all the people are saying, oh, Brave Davis can't travel. Oh, he can't go to the States. And he I think what he say, I can show you all I can travel, man.
No, of course he can travel now.
I really like to see that.
He has a red passport. He could travel.
Yeah, I really like to see that man frequent flyer smiles, boy. I really like it. He could get a 3 free ticket off his frequent flying mileage.
We touched this.
Man, I have Jungle get cancelled and all because Brave Davis is off the island.
Sir,
so they wanted him to come to
Bye.
Jungle.
Bye. You need to stop it. You all need to stop it. The first thing I see this morning, they then put Basel in the chokehold.
Yeah.
They say Basel is a volley boy. The volley wasn't finished pacing. That's why Basel say.
I can be decent though, Howard, as you always trained us to be decent. And this is what I'm going to say to you. The reason why Minnis didn't get the same response as the others is because Dr. Hubert Alexander Minnis, in his response to everything, seemed just a bit too rigid. It was almost as if he had no empathy.
I got a different approach to it.
We saw, when he was talking to the media personality, 1, 2, 3, ABC, and go about your business. And he fishing for the moon and throwing the line down. Yeah. We had a whole number, and then we saw where he and Raymond Wells was there laughing together in Parliament while everyone else was crying. These were the things that cost him. Now, as for
perception.
Well, I mean, listen,
observation.
Bahamian people are very sensitive, man.
Yeah.
Very, very sensitive. And I go back to the traveling thing with our beloved Prime Minister.
I won't touch that too.
It's okay to travel. It's okay to go into the world and get new experiences and garner strength and bring it back home. The issue, once again, I say to you, is that we have not seen the result of this strengthening factor. Where is it?
The one thing that cost Minnis was his emotion. There's no two ways about that. He allowed Housen Moutry to perplex him. To churn
The Speaker of the House?
The Speaker of the House.
The former Speaker of the House, yeah.
Former Speaker of the House.
Mm-hmm.
Housen Moutry, who always will tell you that he's a meteorologist and he understands the weather. Housen, they laughing at you.
Hey, most people can tell you it wasn't the rain when they canceled John Canoe. Everybody's a weatherman around here.
No, they should call Housen. He would have told you no, we could go, right? So Housen would have. He always tells you that he's a weatherman and he could be able to know whether or not a storm is brewing, both politically and physically.
You see what he did, right? He put the hand pump in Nassau Village for them and all.
Now watch this. Watch this.
Mm-hmm.
Housen Moutry, who is very astute, he always kind of dives into what he does, understood that he had autonomy beyond what was given to him, beyond this concept and idea of what the seat's supposed to do. He understood he had autonomy. So even with the dissolution, with the dissolving of the House of Assembly, right? Even with that, he understood that he still sat in his capacity and position as Speaker. The only play that Minnis had beyond that to be able to shut Housen Moutry down was to prorogue the House of Assembly and call an election. That's the only thing that he did. Housen Moutry cost this. Housen Moutry got to Minnis in such a way that Minnis allowed his emotion to be, he was too vulnerable at this time.
It cost him 9 months of pay.
It cost everybody else 9 months of pay. Minnis is straight. Okay? Now, I just want to say that to say to you that when you look at this and when you make this kind of a determination, Minnis allowed emotion to be able to, and this is the first time that we've actually seen him vulnerable in his state, because we thought that he would have been more emotional when it came to that fight between he and Loretta. And it wasn't happening. When he was vying for the leadership and he had to go back again to another, he was just calm.
That was something, eh?
He was calm.
He was calm as ever.
He was calm.
Like he was doing surgery, like he was delivering a baby.
And he found victory. But the first time that he was rattled
by Housen Moutry.
That's the first time that we saw him lose.
Moutry ain't no small fella, you know.
But that's the first time that we saw him lose. And that's it. And so the fact of the matter is that this is only a telltale sign that if emotions is at the forefront, leadership is going to fall.
I like what you're saying, Howard. Listen to what you just said to me. As the Prime Minister, he had an autonomy unto himself.
Yeah.
But the Speaker of the House now found out that he also has his own autonomy.
Outside.
So autonomy versus autonomy made it uncomfortable for the one who thought he was autonomous.
And that's it. And Housen Moutry took a time out to come every single day. Anytime he had an opportunity to be able to engage the press, to go on a talk show, to talk about these things, he spoke to you and gave you the constitutional construct and position of the autonomy that he held. And why? And he broke it down every single time to make you to understand this is why I made this decision and this is my autonomy.
And ain't nothing y'all can do
Minister
about it.
couldn't do nothing about it except prorogue the House of Assembly.
Ain't nothing you can do about it.
That's all he
You
could have done.
shut me up, this what you got.
That's all he could have done.
Uh-huh.
You understand what I'm saying? So it only shows us that once you lead with emotion, you're not going to succeed. Let's take a next telephone call. Caller on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Wow.
Go ahead, caller. Go ahead, caller. Hey.
Hey, Howard, how you doing?
All is well. What's up, Sparky?
Well, Howard, I must say that you have no respect for your callers.
Oh,
now.
Jesus. Go ahead, Sparky.
I mean, I know you like talk.
This Christmas time. Don't fight me.
But I hope you're the children, like I say, the children. I hope they get what Santa Claus got. And I don't know how you get down that chimney. But you found a way.
If the big fella can do it, I can do it too. Praise God.
Or you going through the sliding door.
Yes.
But I can tell you all one thing. Howard, I've been out there for 65 years watching Joe Canoe. And from what I'm hearing, the Valley Boys get robbed this time. They blindly get robbed. I mean, must see the whole Joe Canoe committee, all the judges, they got to be fans of the Saxons. Wouldn't know the Valley Boys went this morning. I can tell you, wouldn't know the Valley Boys. Valley Boys stormed and everything. And the world know, God didn't know. The world, look at people all over the world is calling it on social media saying the Valley Boys win that Joggalo parade. And a couple little judges around here who we know Saxon fan swing that for one of them.
So, Sparky, when was the last time the Saxons won?
Swing.
When was the last time the Saxons won?
I hear you.
When was the last time that the Saxons won a parade?
When was the last time the Saxon win?
Yes.
I don't know, but I know they went this morning.
Listen to me. Every year the Saxons been saying for the last couple of years, the Valley rob us, the Valley rob us, this one rob us, this one rob us. So now if they win, as they won, then the people can say, when they get robbed now, the Valley get robbed. Man, the Valley been winning year after year after year.
No, man, the Valley has been for a little while, man.
What you call it a little while?
One family just went two in a row the last time.
Okay, and before that, the Valley didn't get a championship?
Man, look here, let's go back to this morning, man.
See, you won't be selfish, man, Sparky.
The Valley get robbed.
You being selfish, though.
Robbery.
You got to share.
That's what you call Joggalo corruption.
I was a Saxon fan.
I don't believe you. Look, I believe Wooly even though he get robbed. Wooly was a Valley this morning. But anyway, King...
Saxons win?
King Willis, he got on that same crown again. Well, don't tell me Willard on the crown again.
Yeah, you see him dancing on the red carpet?
I miss Willer, because all of them look so much alike. But I wouldn't believe Willer going on. Watching for 60 years, Willer been out there with a crown. How could you go to Joggalo with the same costume over and over and win a contest?
Well, Sparky, I just want to Howard to allow me to say this to you. I was on Facebook one day, and I saw a video of Sparky driving through the inner city and giving a history of the buildings and the families of the inner city of the past and the present. And I want you to know, Sparky, Mr. Fountain, that man, listen, I enjoyed that to the utmost. This is the type of thing that can make Bahamian people proud again. You are a person who knows yesterday, you know today, and you help us to kind of look and see what tomorrow looks like, only until it comes to John Canoe, of course. But in every other regard, sir, I want to say thank you, and I'm looking forward to more of that from you.
Before I go out, before you go to the next break, I must say, first of all, thank you to Miss Barbara Wilson that took time out to hear my plea, because I wanted to tell that story about my life growing up, because I remember myself from 4 years old. And she said she would do it. She was a Seventh Adventist. She said, okay, on Sunday I'll pick you up at 11 o'clock. I said, okay, I will do the driving. I will do the... She thought she was going to interview me somewhere. I said, no, I will do the driving. I will do the talking, and I will start from the place where I was told that I was born in Chippenham. I pulled up, she pulled up here with a
Sparky, send it to me. Send it to me so I can put it on my Facebook page.
I send things to you, but you don't answer the thing. You know why you don't answer.
Well, he's right. You are.
You know why I don't get it?
No, I just use man. I run a group.
He's sending other things.
I run a WhatsApp group. If people send things to the WhatsApp group, I send it out. Now they send out some adult things, and you let your children get the phone. I tell you, get your children their own phone.
Sparky, I can see it. Happy holidays. Sparky, no.
I figured it out too.
He's Sparky, no. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here. We're just talking about leadership in the country. Let me see if I can read a couple of things. So it says, good afternoon. It says, good afternoon. I don't know. I don't get it with you guys. Are you going to keep doing this back and forward, knowing that both parties on the same time just doing a really bad news, for local Bahamians? We need to form a new party, not connected to either party, in order to move forward successfully on rebuild our Bahamas. I don't agree with that.
Can I address that quickly?
I don't agree with that.
Let me tell you why we have to do this. Political parties do not change the mindset of the people of the Bahamas. The people of the Bahamas are solely responsible for changing the mindset. A new party cannot take on an old situation and create a new Bahamas. It's not going to happen. It has to happen, Howard Grant, from the root. And if you're not prepared to go to the root of everything, and that root needs, as you told me before, Howard, a little fertilization. You need some money, some injection. You need to have some confidence builders in the minds
but you
of
need
the
fertile
citizens.
soil first, though. That means you have to have vision.
And so I have not seen, even in myself, a third party that has taken the time, the resources, and the wherewithal to go all the way to the root in order to become this new government. It's not evident. The easiest thing that has ever happened for anyone who has that mindset is to attempt to enter into a major party and try to make an insertion. Until we can convince Bahamian people that to think outside of the box, of course, things will continue to be the same.
There has been no one in this country over the past 40 years so dynamic, that is the proverbial Pied Piper of politics.
That's correct.
That caused people to run with them, no matter where they go, no matter what they do. There has been nobody in this country so dynamic that could stand alone that caused people to move with them. No one. There's been no one. No one.
Don't have it.
Okay? They don't
have it.
They don't. So as a result of that, they team up to identify the strengths that exists externally and pull it together. So they're looking to commune with unity. They're looking for community. Yeah,
the system hasn't changed.
Let's be clear. Now, as a result of the community that they forged, let's watch me. Whether it's We March, whether it's the DNA, whether it's the COI, whether it's any other fringe organization that actually was forged over the course of time, yes. The only thing that you have is two bulls, whether it be alpha male or an alpha male mindset that continues to buck heads within these organizations.
Correct.
Because they have not come to a very clear conclusion that use the money, I's the talker, he's the accounts keeper, he's the this. Everybody want to be the chief.
Mm-hmm. The all-powerful God of the organization.
And no one want to be the Indian.
Nobody.
No one.
It's not going to happen. Does it need to happen? Of course, we can all agree. In America, a new system needs to take place.
It could happen.
But guess what? Who is going to be the person or persons who's going to create that? Who's going to manufacture that?
It could happen.
And when do you see it happening, Howard?
In this country?
Yes.
There has to be a shift within the organizations that exist first.
Okay.
First.
The people have to learn how to cry first.
People have not come to a very clear conclusion within themselves that we need to be able to make a shift in this organization. They haven't. There is rumblings that exist in the organization that say, well, I don't know what's wrong with you, this match, you ain't getting no contract. They never take this. Everything is superficial.
And you know something?
Even when we open up this conversation to talk about national leadership and the move towards growth and development, DeWitt Collins says, jokingly, right? Whether it's jokingly or not, this is a mindset that exists in this country that indicates that, oh, I see that you're moving in one direction or another. Maybe it's because of our proximity. Maybe it's because of the size of our population. Maybe it's the 6 degrees of separation that connects all of us, that you believe that because this particular person don't have nothing, that particular person, he's looking for something. Maybe that's what it is. Or maybe it's a genuine conversation that says to you, we need to have a clear concept and path to move towards growth and development. But you can't hear that. All you could hear is, boy, how it sounds like he trying to be able to get ministers in.
I want to say
trying to see eat for breathy.
No, I want to say this to defend what's going on here, Howard. That last comment made is so unfair, and I'll tell you why. Because it's not like Howard Grant did not vie under the DNA banner for a change of governance in this country.
And I watched the two oxes. I watched the two bulls.
It's not that I myself have not vied in a previous election as a third-party member. It's because you see, you weren't there when you had to reach down in your pocket and you had to take the time to go door to door and try to convince people that, you know what, I'm here for the mind change, for the mindset to be changed. I'm here for change in our country for better. And then what do people tell me and tell Howard? Sorry to say, let me say Howard and me. Let me be decent, like you say.
Watch me.
Finish it for
That's
me,
the same thing when people
Finish it for me.
Boy, listen.
What you got for me?
Listen, boy. Howard and you, boy. God, you. See, depending on
what
who
you got.
They don't even know who named first.
Yeah.
They don't know who name you put in first. Then you can line up anybody behind me. But once you put my name first, and they'll try to set you straight. No. I put this together. I do this and that. See, listen to me. I ain't got time for all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, and then you want how much money in your pocket.
I ain't got time.
What you could give me? I got light bill. I got water bill. I got medical bill. I got this. And then they said, with your broke self, I can't support this.
People forget quickly.
They forget that we
Let me
were
tell you
there.
why. Because in the DNA, there was a fraction that actually the DNA could have still existed right now. Right now. You forget when they was fighting and saying that Branville McCartney is not the proper leadership. He didn't go to a proper election.
You all went through that too?
Right, what you mean?
You serious?
Shelley Moss will call me right now.
My boy Shelley?
Shelley, right now, and tell you that.
Shelley Moss?
Shelley Moss will call you right now and tell you about Orinthia Komalafe's position and how she took on this position.
Merry Christmas,
right?
Shelley Moss.
Shelley Moss will call you right now and tell you about these things because all of us was in the organization, even when Raheem Monroe was trying to be able to move towards leadership in the organization.
What?
So you have to remember these things. Don't forget these things.
Probably don't know these things.
Don't forget these things.
They think it was
when
just
Wallace Rose, my good friend Wallace Rose, was running for these particular things. They was running for these. When Randy Butler was looking to be able to get to move towards leadership. When Chris Mortimer was looking for leadership.
That's Sea Breeze.
You all need to stop it.
I know these things.
Every organization has this internal issue when the alpha males butt heads. And see, the objective is I only want to get to glory. I only want to get to the glory land. I want to get to where we was promised. You understand? I want to get to Canaan. I do not care about the tribulation and who leading us over the Jordan first. My God, when we get to our glory land, then we could identify a different course of action.
Well, Howard, I have been in the wilderness for 7 years. 7 years. I haven't had a job for 7 years. You know, because when you get involved in politics, you know, either you're on one side or the other, and both sides punish you when they're ready. Until they realize that, you know what, you're a dangerous person in terms of your ideology.
Just work for yourself.
And you could swing some people by way of influence, so they won't have a conversation with you all of a sudden. Now all of a sudden you become important. I thank the Almighty God. I thank the people of the Bahamas who support people like myself, that we can go by day to day and know that this Bahama land offers the opportunity to work for yourself and survive. You know, Howard? That's just the way it has been.
Let me take a telephone call. Caller on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Yes, hey, Howard, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, Seattle?
Alan Johnson.
What's up?
Hey, Howard, before we get to the PINTAD, right, and the F&M, just let me, we said you got expectation of governance. Can we have a little conversation? Do you know where we're going with immigration?
What you mean, generally in the country?
Yeah. Do you know, like a clear, concise policy? Let me just go through them so you could then answer. Do you know where we're going with immigration?
No.
Do you know where we're going with education? Do you know how we're going to deal with the collapsing infrastructure?
We hear the articulation from various ministers to talk about these things, but I feel like it's pontification.
Yes.
I'm saying, when I said this, right? We talk about not talking points. We're talking about clarity that individuals can say, this is exactly how we will be working to resolve these problems individually and collectively. So you're talking about a government that hasn't told us anything on the crisis of immigration, the collapsing education plantation, infrastructure falling apart, whether it be the schools or the hospitals or the government buildings. The energy, totally pure, unclean. A climate change policy that basically no one knows except for the Prime Minister and a select few. A healthcare collapsing. An ethics issue in the country, whether it be perception or real. The lack of freedom of information. How do we embrace the 21st century with the technology? What are our trade policies? the social safety net where we see individuals lining up for food and programs and assistance, the women's rights, the crime, the disability, the disabled, everything else. So the reason I say this is this, right? It's like here it is, you have someone that's driving the car.
Mm-hmm.
And you're making a focus on what this person will do in 3 years if he could figure out where on this reef this boat will be left. Okay? That's Michael Pintard. But at the same time, Minnis for 4 years and 3 months said nothing to us. But in less than 60 seconds, you can have a PhD dissertation as to what Minnis said, meant, and everything else. It's just amazing that this ability didn't... I mean, you would have made a better person in New Bull for Minnis as a spokesperson because clearly the country...
I tell you, people live naughty. This is a naughty show.
Watch me. Yeah, I say the same thing about you the other day for Michael Pintard. Now stop it. You know I said the exact same thing for you about Michael Pintard.
No, but I'm saying to you, Michael Pintard, the FNM, first let me speak for the FNM, it doesn't have a Minnis or Pintard. The FNM is a compendium of leaders within the party that makes it what it is.
But it hasn't been that since 1990.
No, but what you had was a strong leader that was able... Now, the problem is that we like to do what is called snapshot analysis. And you have to go back to when Hubert Ingram came into the party before 1992.
Okay.
You also have to go back and begin to do, if you want to do a true analysis, straight through when in 2007, and again when he came back, when he pursued again in 2012. See, from 2007 to 2012, we don't do this analysis. What we do is we take out small snapshot to make a point, and that's not political analysis in the respect that it is. But I can say to you, the FNM party, under the leadership of Mr. Pintard, is building and preparing the bill from the bottom up and the middle out.
But I can say this to you also, Sial, and the truth of the matter is that until you have an opportunity to be able to apply, like you started to talk about the leadership of this administration.
That's correct.
All you're doing is talking until there's application. The only thing Michael Pintard is doing also is talking until he has the opportunity to apply himself. All we're waiting for is application.
I want you to pause right there. You know why? You just described Her Majesty official opposition, government in waiting. See, you can't ask him to govern from the other side. But at the same time, you say, if you listen, it's no time in Parliament. If you could listen one time that Mr. Pintard spoke in Parliament, you could say it was not substantive and demanding accountability for which the very people of this country has been asking and demanding. You can't, not one time. Not no NPO or any of these other different things in the Parliament. He avoids the politics and things. What you have is substantive leadership, not complaints. Oh, just for the complaint thing. But at the same time, you say, I want you to, and I want
you know, we could argue this down. And I want
to. But see, you got when it's like don't try to make it seem as if the Pintard is the FNM party, and at the same time, listen what you do. Is you go back and you say the PLP party and the FNM party, its leadership makes the determination. And the country sent a message to Perry Gladstone Christie to the point they even took his seat from him. And they sent a message also to Hubert Minnis. But I'm simply saying this, how do you guys extrapolate from a guy that hasn't said anything since COVID began? How do you get all of this leadership that he...
Let's discuss this after the break.
Let me take a break. Let me take the break. Yeah, go ahead, hold. Right, let me take the break. And let's be able to have this very clear conversation. Because the analysis was based upon the snapshot between a conversation of two leaders. That was it. It was Ingram and Minnis. And based upon that, this is what we was able to extract. Let's take a quick commercial break and be right back after this.
The Nassau Cruise Board presents Phil Stubbs Live. at the all-new Nassau Cruise Port Amphitheater. January 13th. Gates open at 7 p.m. Showtime 9 p.m. Book your tickets now at BahamasEtickets.com.
General admission $50, 75 VIP.
Prepare to be blown away as we kick things off with one of the Bahamas' beloved artists. You're raking and scraping with Ira Storr, Nishi LS, and Phil Stubbs live. Brought to you by the Nassau Cruise Board. It's not just a concert, it's a night to remember.
Guardian Radio and the Foundation are on the move.
Bahamas, this one's for you.
SBT, Small Business Thursdays. Every Thursday, the Foundation with Howard Grant will highlight small businesses throughout the country, far and wide. Your products, services, prices, and personality. We want to hear it all. Get your 30 or 60-second advertisement heard on air at a fraction of the cost. We here at the Foundation understand the times and don't want you to be left behind. With Guardian Radio, you reach your specific demographic, and it is unmatched.
We reach thousands daily.
Get your products off the shelf and your services in their hearts. Small Business Thursdays with the Foundation, only on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. For more information, call 302-2300 or the Help Me Howard line at 827-0111. SBT. Small Business Thursdays. Get your business moving today.
Let me ask you a few questions. What's your name?
Pam.
Favorite food?
Steak.
Beer or wine?
Wine.
Is your money safe?
It's under my bed, so I guess so.
Are you serious?
Yeah, why?
Unless your money is in a bank or credit union that's a member of the Deposit Insurance Corporation, there's no guarantee it's safe.
Yeah, but what if something happens to the bank?
Your Bahamian dollar deposits are insured up to $50,000, so you'd still be ahead. Plus, your mattress might catch fire. Then what?
Man, those banks and credit unions are looking good right about now.
Visit the DIC's website at www.dic.bs. Protection for your money, guaranteed with IC.
Towards the heights of the season, Scotiabank wanted to give the people a lift for mom, dad, and kids. Apply for a Scotia Plan loan and unwrap the perfect Christmas gift. Fix your home, buy new appliances, or go on vacation. Scotiabank is giving holiday cheer with an all-expense-paid weekend trip for two to Miami for 3 days and 2 nights. When you apply for a Scotia Plan loan from now until December 31st, enjoy low interest rates and no payments for up to 2 months. Unwrap the perfect Christmas with Scotiabank.
It's Whopper Wednesday every Wednesday at Burger King Nassau. Make your Wednesday sizzle and sink your teeth into a flame-grilled beef patty topped with tomatoes, fresh-cut lettuce, mayo, pickles, ketchup, and sliced onions, all on a toasted sesame seed bun with fries for only $5.95, including VAT. This Whopper Wednesday, grab a friend and head down to your favorite BK Nassau location for a flame-grilled Whopper made your way with crisp fries for only $5.95. Burger King Nassau, where taste is king.
The Grand Bahama News is available every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian. You can buy your local paper at Freeport convenience stores, Western Bakery, DeGregory's Fine Foods, and Bellevue Gifts. Now is the time to reach your Grand Bahama Market with affordable packages, including print and digital. Call GB News sales representative Kavandre at 822-6717 or message him on WhatsApp for ad rates. Classified ads are now available every Tuesday as well. Keep up with everything Grand Bahamian every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian.
Towards the heights of the season, Scotiabank wanted to give the people a lift for mom, dad, and kids. Apply for a Scotia Plan loan and unwrap the perfect Christmas gift. Fix your home, buy new appliances, or go on vacation. Scotiabank is giving holiday cheer with an all-expense-paid weekend trip for two to Miami for 3 days and 2 nights. When you apply for a Scotia Plan loan from now until December 31st, enjoy low interest rates and no payments for up to 2 months. Unwrap the perfect Christmas with Scotiabank.
Hi, this is Shivago Lang, host of Z Live, wishing you and your family a very Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year from Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant and your company, the Foundation, here, live and in full effect. 10 minutes before we get out of here, just to be able to assess a few things, I want to say some stuff to you about leadership. Can I say this? Is it okay, Garth? We started to talk about
I think it's necessary.
We started to talk about
quickly, uninterrupted.
The importance of leadership, the importance of contribution to political organizations is your participation. Garth and I are sitting at a table. I'm at the head. He's at the tail. He's at the tail. He's at the head. I'm at the tail. However you want to be able to view this, but there are 4 empty seats in here. There's a very clear construct, an idea that there is a space for more contribution to be made, whether that be here and on radio, whether that be in the public sector or private sector, political or otherwise. If you want to be able to participate in an organization, when you participate in an organization, you have to know that whilst your contribution, you're convicted that your contribution is definitely the way to go, you have to understand that there's different minds that exist here. And if the organization makes a determination that we want to go in this direction or that direction, despite your contribution, you cannot pick up your Georgie bundle and leave. That's the problem I'm having with the Free National Movement. Because the organization doesn't take my ideas, my cause, my this, my that, people want to leave. That's not right. Mm-hmm. That's the issue that I'm having with Richard Johnson. He's a friend of mine. But the issue that I'm having, the organization has to be bigger than your posture and position. I have a problem with that.
That's what Hugh Alexander Ingram is saying.
I have a problem with that.
That's what he's saying, though.
That's what it is.
In a nutshell.
See, my aspirations towards leadership has nothing to... When I come to your job, I come to be the boss. But I understand that I have to go through whatever I have to go through to eventually get to this.
Maybe that's why they let you go from the hotel, you
right?
know.
That's fine. We're not here or there. The next time I go to the hotel, I will own that. Let's be very clear about this, right? So my point to you is that though in our minds we all have our eyes on leadership, it's very important that we play the role that we were given until we ascend to another role, and play in that role that we were given until we ascend to another role.
Nothing wrong with wanting that either.
You see, if you don't want it, I don't want you. That's just plain and simple. That is what the process...
That causes corporations and entities to grow. That's how growth takes place.
Yeah. You have to aspire. That's why they say, where do you see yourself in the organization in 5 years? Mm-hmm. Where do you see yourself in the organization in 7 years?
But nobody gives me a job, you know.
You understand?
They say, I see your material.
So they know that leadership exists in you, the way that your posture, your articulation, your mindset, so forth and so on. It's inevitable. You're going to move towards leadership. But my God, not on day one.
No, you can't challenge leadership.
Not in the basement. You in the mailroom and fighting and cussing and carrying on like that is wrong. I just believe that the Free National Movement will do well by being able to identify your position. Who's the talker? Who's the accountant? Who's give out T-shirts? Who's answer the phone? Everyone's role is important in the organization to propel your organization. The PLP has had 20 years prior to the Free National Movement to be able to work out this kind of a cracks and these nooks and these kind of an indifference that exists in there. And no matter what we see happening in the organization, we hear a unified party. That's it. The Free National Movement has yet to get to the point of being able to fight, and they're content with saying, well, you know, the spirit of a dissident exists in the organization. This is wild.
You know who was good at that?
This is wild.
Our President, Governor General, Her Excellency, Lady Cynthia Mother Pratt. I remember after going through turmoil in the Progressive Liberal Party, by the time they got to that convention floor, going into the 2012 election, she used the analogy of a tea bag. And she says, you know, we as PLPs, you know, our tea bag make it stronger and stronger and stronger. And I watched the crowds of people just bind themselves together, that fractured PLP. They came like one voice, one strength, one force. We have not yet seen that in
Where
the
would the
Free National
PLP
Movement
right now be if Fred was still clamoring for leadership? Do you think he still harbors the sort of an idea in his heart that he could become leader? Of course. Do you think Alfred Sears still harbors within the crevices of his heart that he could be able to become leader? Of course.
So what does Chester Cooper want?
Leader, of course. Glennis, leader, of course. Obi Wilscombe passed away with his desires deep in the depth of his heart. Leader, of course.
And what is the reason?
But that did not stop them from moving this organization forward.
Oh, when it's time to pull together to win, they come together.
That's all I'm saying.
Because you'd rather win than lose.
That's all I'm saying.
But the Free National Movement is not showing that to us.
The Free National Movement having more issues internally trying to identify who can talk, who can be the boss, who can be the this. I ain't listening to you.
But they'd rather sink the whole ship.
And sink the whole ship.
Because I can't get it.
And that's what's happening in the organization. And that is sad. For them to be able to say in their posture that, the spirit of the dissident, it continues to be able to exist within the walls of the Free National Movement. This sounds like a haunted house, sir. This is not October 31st. I am not going to no haunted house. That is what you're saying about the Free National Movement. You have to dispel this spirit and pull in the spirit of unity in your organization.
I'm listening to you, and I'll tell you what I think what the issue is. I think you said it earlier in the show. Action.
Everything is theoretical.
If you can get the Free National Movement base to become active, then you wouldn't have to worry about so much dissension. There's so many issues. I think C. Allen was trying to say a few things, but you have to agree with me that if there were things to be done and you can pull the forces together, that would send you in a very great direction, a positive direction. And Howard, before you go, my heart still goes out. We're talking about traveling early and everything else. My God, when are y'all going to give Freeport an airport, man? Please, for God's sake.
I wanted to touch this earlier. I only got 2 seconds so I can touch this.
Why can't Michael
I don't have no problem with our Prime Minister traveling.
Deal with that airport.
I can say this to you. I don't have no problem with our Prime Minister traveling. The fact of the matter is that the world has become a community and we could be able to access these things online. However, I've recognized in my personal life that when you could see, touch, feel, and taste and get into an environment and break bread with people, you can be able to find yourself in a more productive position. Now, your question to me was, well, Howard, what are the fruits that the Prime Minister has brought in? And I say to you that I don't see any. Let's be very clear. That his travels has yielded his personal fruits. That he has been able to continue to be able to see the tree of life for Philip Brave Davis as it relates to being able to talk about what's happening for COP 21, 22, 23, 27, 29, right? He's going over to talk about climate change, and this is only a proverbial feather in his personal hat, that win, lose, or draw on the next election, he will be identified globally as one of the change makers and those persons who are speaking about climate change within the Caribbean, he and Mia Motley. And if that is the objective, then where does the Bahamian people fit in that? I don't believe that we have anything to do. I don't believe that we should despise his travel. If you're breaking bread for me, go break bread, baby, and bring it back. But if you're breaking bread for you, listen.
Yeah.
1 for you and 2 for us. 1 for you and 2 for us. It can't be 3 for you. My God. Let's be decent about this thing.
We being indecent now on this microphone.
Let's be decent about this thing, right? So I see y'all guys texting and whatnot. Tomorrow we can be able to finish this conversation. We can jump this down. It is
we ain't getting none. We ain't getting none.
No,
man, they just tore up the mangroves in Adelaide, so they building Windsor Lakes.
We ain't getting nothing.
The whole mangrove, all kind of canal and lake and stuff. Climate change.
The Prime Minister.
Mangrove. Bring that conversation home.
All over the world. Travel with the Prime Minister to be able to talk about and support him as he talks about relentlessly what's happening with climate change.
Yeah.
Simultaneously, he bringing more than 200 vehicles, gasoline. Simultaneously, we still having bunker C fuel. Yes. Simultaneously, our power is going up exponentially home. Simultaneously, we have to pay significantly at the pump, and people still crying at the pumps about ownership and they're finding their position. These are the issues that's happening home. And then the UN say, well, you also have issues on detention center down at Carmichael Road, and he comes back and says, you don't got to tell me what's going on in my house. Well, you're doing the same thing to the entire world.
That's it.
You're saying to the world, this is where you stand on climate change. You don't think these people know what they're expelling into the atmosphere?
Very much so.
But he's doing it. See, when the pot calling the kettle black, it's heavy and no one can take it. All this says to me in closing, my brother, when you have a beam in your eye, sweep around your own doorstep.
Yes, sir.
Before you sweep around others.
Howard, I am happy today. I saw some tourists catching the jitney on Carmichael Road. These Airbnbs, they're working. People, please be respectful to the tourists and the guests coming to our country. Show them a good time. Those who are committing crimes and such like, please desist. And congratulations to the Minister of Tourism for job